Most people starting their first homestead think they need goats, chickens, and pigs to be self-sufficient. But on half an acre, that usually leads to overwhelm, vet bills, and giving up within a year. What actually works is choosing 3 simple animals that give you the most value with the least daily stress, even if you're starting later in life. In this video, I'm sharing the 3 best animals for a half-acre property that 90% of beginners overlook, plus why the popular choices often fail. If you're someone who wants real food security and a productive homestead without burnout, this channel is for you. I post calm, practical homesteading ideas every week, and subscribing means you won't waste time on mistakes others already made. I'm really glad you found your way here. Let's start. Why most beginners choose wrong. Here's the problem. Most beginner advice comes from people with 5+ acres and full-time help. On half an acre, you don't have room for error. You need animals that are low maintenance and forgiving, productive year-round, affordable to feed and house, and safe for families and seniors. The 3 I'm covering today check every box, and they're surprisingly rare on small homesteads. Chickens seem like the obvious choice, but they attract predators, need constant cop maintenance, and stop laying in winter when you need eggs most. Goats sound romantic until you're dealing with escape artists, hoof trimming, and expensive fencing. Pigs work great on large properties but create odor problems and require heavy infrastructure on small lots. What works better are animals most people overlook because they're not trendy or Instagram-worthy. But if your goal is actual self-sufficiency without daily stress, these 3 will transform your half-acre into a productive, sustainable homestead that actually lasts. Animal 1. Quail. The first animal is quail, and they solve a quiet problem most small homesteaders face, needing fresh, healthy protein without the noise, smell, or space that chickens demand. The reason quail work so well is simple. They respect how real life functions on a small property. They're silent, disease-resistant, and produce eggs faster than chickens. They don't need a coop renovation or expensive infrastructure. They work even on tired days, which is why they last. To start, all you need is a 4x8 hutch and basic feeders. If you already have a shed or garage corner, you're ready. What you're doing is simply providing water, game bird feed, and collecting eggs daily. No free-ranging, no predator drama. To keep it going, focus on just one thing: refresh their bedding weekly. That's enough. Here's why quail are genuinely superior for half-acre homesteads. A single Coturnix quail hen lays 5 to 6 eggs per week, which is actually more productive than most chicken breeds. 6 quail hens give you roughly 30 eggs weekly, matching what 3 chickens produce, but in 1/10 the space. Their eggs are nutritionally dense, with higher protein and vitamin content per ounce than chicken eggs. They're also considered a delicacy, selling for $3 to $6 per dozen at farmers markets if you want extra income. The setup cost is minimal. A basic wire hutch runs $60 to $100 if you build it yourself, or $150 to $200 for a pre-made option. Quail feed costs about $20 monthly for a small flock of 12 birds. Compare that to chickens, which need a $500 plus coop, run fencing, nesting boxes, and constant predator fortification. Quail live comfortably in stacked hutches, meaning you can keep 20 birds in the same footprint as 4 chickens. They're also incredibly beginner-friendly. Quail reach laying age in 6 to 8 weeks, compared to 5 to 6 months for chickens. If you start with chicks in spring, you're eating fresh eggs by early summer. They're naturally quiet, so you won't annoy neighbors or violate noise ordinances. Most suburban areas that ban roosters allow quail because they're classified as game birds, not poultry. Check your local regulations, but quail slip under most homestead restrictions. Health-wise, quail are far more resilient than chickens. They don't suffer from common poultry diseases like Marix or coccidiosis at the same rates. They're not prone to becoming broody and stopping egg production. Their waste is minimal and less odorous, making them ideal for close-quarter living. You can keep them in a garage, basement, or covered patio without the smell issues chickens create. Over time, this doesn't just give you 6 to 8 fresh eggs per week per bird. It changes how your mornings feel. Less worry, more self-reliance. A rare skill most neighbors don't have. You'll have a steady supply of healthy, organic protein without the daily stress of predator management, coop cleaning, or winter production drops. A small thing that makes this easier is starting with Coturnix quail. They're the calmest breed and lay within 8 weeks. You don't need it, but it smooths the learning curve. Avoid bobwhite quail for beginners, they're flighty and harder to manage. Stick with coternics, and you'll wonder why anyone bothers with chickens on small properties. Animal 2, rabbits. The second animal is rabbits, and they matter because they're the most efficient protein per square foot on any homestead, while being gentle enough for grandkids to help with. The reason rabbits work is straightforward. They multiply quickly, eat kitchen scraps and weeds, and their manure is garden gold. They don't depend on perfect weather, expensive vet care, or daily attention. They're sustainable even when life gets busy, which is why serious homesteaders always keep them. To start, all you need is 2 hutches, feeders, and a breeding trio that's 2 does and 1 buck. If you have a shaded outdoor area, you're ready. What you're doing is simply feeding pellets and fresh greens, cleaning weekly, and breeding every 3 to 4 months. No pasture needed, no complicated housing. To keep it going, focus on just one thing. Check water daily in summer. That's enough. Here's why rabbits are a genuine game changer for small homesteads. A single breeding pair can produce 50 to 60 pounds of healthy lean meat per year. That's the equivalent of a whole hog, but without the slaughter weight, processing costs, or feed expenses. Rabbit meat is white, mild, and lower in fat and cholesterol than chicken, beef, or pork. It's high in protein and rich in vitamins B12 and B3. For seniors managing heart health or families wanting clean protein, it's one of the healthiest meats available. The economics make sense too. Rabbits are incredibly feed efficient. They convert feed to meat at a 4-to-1 ratio, meaning 4 pounds of feed produces 1 pound of meat. Compare that to beef at 8-to-1 or pork at 6-to-1. A 50-pound bag of rabbit pellets costs $18 to $25 and lasts a breeding trio about 6 weeks. Add in free forage like dandelions, plantain, clover, and vegetable scraps, and your feed costs drop even further. You're producing premium meat for about $2 per pound, less than half what you'd pay at any grocery store. Space requirements are minimal. Each rabbit needs 4 to 6 square feet of hutch space. A breeding trio fits comfortably in 20 square feet, roughly the size of a small garden shed. You can stack hutches vertically to save even more room. Unlike chickens or goats, rabbits don't need outdoor runs or pasture rotation. They're perfectly content in well-ventilated hutches with daily greens and enrichment. The real hidden value is their manure. Rabbit manure is cold compost, meaning you can apply it directly to your garden without aging or composting. It won't burn plants, and it's packed with nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. A single rabbit produces 50 to 100 pounds of manure annually. That's enough to fertilize a 300 to 400 square foot garden naturally, saving you $50 to $100 yearly in store-bought fertilizer. If you're growing vegetables on your half-acre, rabbits essentially pay for themselves through soil health alone. They're also beginner-friendly and low-stress. Rabbits are quiet, clean, and easy to handle. Does kindle, which means give birth every 3 to 4 months and raise their litters without much human intervention. Kits grow to processing weight in 10 to 12 weeks, giving you a steady supply of meat year-round. Unlike livestock that requires butchering appointments and processing fees, rabbits can be processed at home with basic tools and minimal space. Over time, this doesn't just provide 60-plus pounds of healthy meat per year. It changes how your family eats. More control, less grocery dependence. A life-changing skill for hard times. A small thing that makes this easier is choosing New Zealand whites or Californians. They're calm, productive, and handle mistakes better than fancy breeds. Avoid Angoras or Flemish Giants for meat production. They're not as efficient. Stick with proven meat breeds and you'll have a sustainable protein source that works even when the grocery store doesn't. Animal 3. Honeybees. The third animal is honeybees, and they solve something most homesteaders miss. They're a high-value investment that works for your garden while producing something rare and profitable. The reason bees are brilliant for half an acre is simple. They boost your vegetable yields by 30 to 50% while giving you raw honey worth $8 to $12 per pound. They don't need daily care, feed themselves most of the year, and one hive can produce 40 to 60 pounds annually. They're the ultimate low-effort, high-return homestead asset. To start, all you need is one Langstroth hive, a protective suit, and a local bee package. If you have a sunny spot 30-plus feet from your house, you're ready. What you're doing is simply inspecting monthly during warm months and harvesting honey once or twice per year. No daily feeding, no complicated management. To keep it going, focus on just one thing. Winterize in fall with a sugar board. That's enough. Here's why honeybees are genuinely worth it on a small property. First, the pollination value is massive. Bees increase yields for tomatoes, cucumbers, squash, peppers, melons, and fruit trees by 30 to 50%. If you're growing even a modest garden, that's an extra 100 to 300 pounds of produce annually. The market value of that pollination alone is worth $200 to $400 yearly, far exceeding the cost of maintaining a hive. Then there's the honey. A healthy hive produces 40 to 60 pounds of surplus honey per year, depending on your region and forage availability. Raw, unfiltered honey sells for $8 to $12 per pound at farmers markets, farm stands, and through word of mouth. That's $320 to $720 in potential income from one hive. Even if you keep half for personal use, you're still generating $200 to $400 annually. Honey never spoils, stores indefinitely, and has proven health benefits for allergies, digestion, and immune support. The startup cost is reasonable. A complete beginner hive kit runs $200 to $300 and includes the hive body, frames, foundation, tools, and protective gear. A package of bees costs $125 to $175 in spring. Your total first-year investment is $350 to $500. After that, annual costs drop to $50 to $100 for occasional frame replacement and sugar for winter feeding. Compare that to any other homestead animal, and bees are one of the lowest maintenance, highest return options available. Time commitment is minimal. During active months from April to September, you'll inspect your hive once or twice monthly for about 20 minutes per visit. You're checking for queen health, honey stores, and signs of disease. That's roughly 3 to 4 hours of hands-on work per month. In fall and winter, bees require almost no attention beyond ensuring they have enough stored food. No daily feeding, no water changes, no manure management. They're the closest thing to passive income the animal world offers. Bees are also surprisingly beginner-friendly. Modern hive designs make inspections straightforward. Local beekeeping clubs, which exist in nearly every county, offer free mentorship, workshops, and equipment loans. Many clubs sell bees at cost to new members, saving you $50 to $75. Online resources and courses are abundant. The learning curve is real, but manageable, especially compared to raising livestock. The emotional payoff is significant too. Beekeeping connects you to natural cycles in a way few homestead activities do. Watching a hive thrive, pulling frames heavy with golden honey, and knowing you're supporting pollinator populations feels meaningful. It's productive work that also contributes to environmental health. Over time, this doesn't just give you 40 to 60 pounds of pure, healthy honey annually. It changes how your homestead produces better harvests, extra income potential, a sustainable system that pays for itself. A small thing that makes this easier is joining a local beekeeping club first. You'll get mentorship and often discounted supplies. You don't need it, but it prevents costly mistakes. Avoid buying bees online from distant suppliers. Local bees are adapted to your climate and forage, making them far more likely to thrive. Stick with local sources, and you'll build a resilient hive that produces for years. If this is helpful, give it a like. It tells YouTube to share this with people who need it. And I'm curious, which of these three feels most realistic for your property right now? Drop it in the comments. I actually read them and answer questions. If you're torn between options, let me know your biggest concern, whether that's space, time, or budget, and I'll point you in the right direction. Your input also helps me create better videos for this community. Bonus tip. Here's something most small homesteaders miss, and it matters more than choosing the right animals. Instead of starting with all three at once, pick one and master it for 6 months first. That single focus often makes everything else feel easier. You build real confidence instead of spreading yourself thin. Quail are the easiest starting point if you're unsure. If you want immediate results and minimal risk, start with quail. Get 6 hens, learn their rhythm, and collect eggs daily for a few months. Once that feels effortless, add rabbits or bees. If you have more time and want the highest value return, start with honeybees in spring. One hive will teach you patience, observation, and timing. By year 2, you'll feel comfortable adding quail or rabbits. If you're motivated by meat self-sufficiency and have kids or grandkids to involve, start with rabbits. A breeding trio will give your family hands-on purpose and tangible food security within 6 months. Most people fail because they try to do everything at once. They build coops, buy chicks, order bees, and adopt rabbits all in the same month. By week 8, they're exhausted and ready to quit. Don't do that. Pick one animal, master the basics, then expand. That's how real, sustainable homesteads grow. You don't need a huge property to become more self-sufficient. You just need the right small steps. Pick one animal from today and research it this week, imperfectly. That's how real homesteads start. Look up local breeders, watch a few setup videos, and price out the basic equipment. You'll be surprised how doable this actually is, even if you're starting later in life or have zero experience. And if you want more calm, practical homesteading ideas like this, subscribe to Zero to Purpose. This channel is for people who want to live more intentionally and sustainably, without pressure, noise, or burnout. I create content that respects your time and gives you real, actionable steps, not hype or trends. Every week you'll get ideas that make homesteading feel less overwhelming and more possible. Thanks for spending this time here. I'll see you in the next one, where we'll cover the biggest mistakes new homesteaders make in their first year and how to avoid them completely. Take care. Settings. Add all caps subtitles with a spoken word. Highlight. Use YouTube audio library, only use appropriate media. Use a male voice with a southern accent for the narrator.